The winningest wrestler in South Dakota State history, Paul Konechny captured a pair of NCAA Division II national championships while compiling a 137-30 career record from 1998 to 2001. A Kimball native, Konechny was a four-time All-American. He placed 6th at 134 pounds in 1998, runner-up at 141 as a sophomore, before winning a pair of national titles, one of which came on his own home mat in Frost Arena. In addition, Konechny was a COSIDA Academic All-American in both 2000 and 2001, and 3 times he was named to the National Wrestling Coaches Association All-Academic Team. And 3 years ago, Konechny was inducted into the NCAA Division II Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Wow, thank you. Before the speech today, I was talking to Dave Korneman, and he said, just make it funny. And I said, it's way too long already. I cut all the funny stuff out. So, obviously, thanks to the Hall of Fame committee for all their efforts on a great ceremony and for letting me be a part of it. I'm glad that I get to spend this morning in this incredible Dyke House Stadium, and I'm excited to come back this afternoon and watch the Jackrabbits beat down some Redbirds from Illinois State. I'd like to thank Athletic Director Justin Sell and the entire athletic department for all their efforts producing top-notch athletic programs across the board at the highest levels of college sports, and to congratulate them on all their success. I could not have imagined all of this 20 years ago. It is indeed a great time to be a Jackrabbit. I'd like to congratulate my fellow inductees. I'm truly honored to be mentioned in the same category as you all, and in the same category as all the previous inductees. Since being notified of this honor a couple months ago, I thought a lot about what it means. I've reflected on my experiences and all the people along the way that made it possible. Beyond wanting to thank everybody that helped me on this path, I thought I'd just take some time to mention some of those things that I've been reflecting on, and then also to introduce myself and my family. Back in the day, the hallway at Frost Arena between the locker rooms and the wrestling room was filled with individual photos of the great SDSU athletes before me, along with all their accolades. They called it the Wall of Fame. I'd be interested to know how much time I spent reading and rereading some of those profiles. I wouldn't say I made it a specific goal to get on that wall, but I wanted to be on that wall. Reflecting on this memory, I found that hopefully I've also inspired some others with my actions along the way, and I realized with this new honor, I should strive to inspire and help others, not only representing myself, but representing this great university. It's a great reminder that people are always watching you and learning from you. Trust me, I'm far from perfect in all aspects of my life, but hopefully this honor can inspire me to do better and to continually improve. I grew up on a farm in Kimball, South Dakota. I was the 10th kid out of 16 children. There were 8 boys, 8 girls in my family, and I was sandwiched between 7 sisters. We competed hard growing up. All of my siblings are very talented and athletic. Of the 16 children, I think 9 of them participated in college athletics at some point. I have memories of wrestling with my oldest brother, John, when I was 5 or 6 years old. He was the first wrestling state champion from Kimball and an incredible big brother. I idolized him growing up, and he had a great impact on me and my wrestling abilities. My older sister, Ann, and I competed against each other the most. It didn't matter what it was. There were even a few fist fights along the way. She was tough. Ann is also in an athletic hall of fame at a different university. We won't mention where. I think all of those battles we had growing up really benefited both of us. So this honor is really not only for me, but it's for my family, because without them, it would not have been possible. I've only mentioned 2 of my siblings specifically so far, and I don't want to have to hear it from the other 13 about not mentioning them in this speech. So to Teresa, John, Richard, Dan, Jeff, Cheryl, Marcia, Ann, Beth, Lisa, Sarah, Tricia, Marty, Thomas, and Wade, thank you. I really appreciate all that you've done for me. My mom, Barbara, is a one of a kind. I'm not sure if I can really comprehend how hard she worked to raise 16 healthy and happy kids. She truly put her faith in God. I'm not sure she could have been any more generous, given endlessly of herself to give the gift of life filled with love to 16 children. Of course, Mom didn't do it all by herself. I have the utmost respect for my dad, Dave, and for his ability to provide for such a large family. His consistency and patience as a father helped raise 16 kids that were well prepared for the world. I know both of my parents are proud of me for this honor, but I am equally proud of them for raising a family that was able to achieve so much. So again, I say this honor is for the entire family. When I got on campus, I was here as a wrestler. I really didn't know what I wanted to do after that. After a year and a half of doing general education, I decided it was time to pick a major. I was really good at math, and that directed me to engineering. After a little research, I determined that electrical engineering might be right for me, and I arranged a visit with the electrical engineering department and sat down with a visit with Dr. Stephen Hiepis. After a 30-minute visit and a couple hours to think over our discussion, I was sold. The rest is history. I'm thankful for all that Dr. Hiepis did for me along the way and for his efforts forming a path in the electrical power field at SDSU, as it has served me well in my career. Shortly after graduating college, I moved to Kansas City, or planned to move to Kansas City to start my career at a large engineering firm, but I was delayed by a 15-month deployment to Iraq as a member of the South Dakota National Guard. After the deployment, I picked up where I left off and headed to Kansas City. Shortly after that, I decided to marry my girlfriend of 7 years. I know that seems a bit impulsive to marry somebody after only 7 years of dating, but I knew she was the one. After 6 years in Kansas City, we moved back closer to home to enjoy the small town life. We've been in Rock Rapids, Iowa ever since, and I still work at an engineering firm, and I also serve as an assistant high school wrestling coach and a coach for the youth program in Rock Rapids. Brooke and I have been blessed with 5 wonderful kids: Simon, Molly, Lucy, Evan, and Colin. We're all excited to be here today. There are way too many other people that deserve thanks, but I need to specifically mention a couple. Coach Lyles, I'll forever appreciate all the efforts you exhausted to make me a better wrestler, for the friendship while I was in college, and for the continued friendship today. You assembled some really good wrestling teams, and I'm thankful to have been a part of them, as I know it made my experience much more enjoyable. I'm forever grateful for the teammates along the way. Thank you to Chad Wickman and Nate Godfrey for beating up a true freshman, still learning how to wrestle at the next level, and for Aaron Veskrina for being an incredible workout partner for the following years. I'm very thankful for all those in my hometown of Kimball that were part of such a strong wrestling tradition. To Bob Johnson for building the program that won a couple state team titles while my brothers competed, and for all the Kimball coaches following. They were all great people and great coaches, and I'm so thankful for all that they did for me. Kimball was a town of 752 people, and I am the second SDSU National Wrestling Champion from there, as Justin Blasius won a title a couple years before I arrived on campus. To Keith and Sherry Jensen, the biggest Jackrabbit fans I know, thank you. Thank you for making not only me, but the entire team feel so appreciated. Thank you for all you did for the program, but most of all, thank you for being such loyal fans. The experience of competing on a college team is so much fun, but fans like them really elevate it to another level, so thanks. And lastly, the other thing I'm really thankful for is being able to share my experience wrestling in college with my wife, Brooke. We began dating just before I graduated from high school and are still hanging tough. I've said this many times before, but Brooke never once distracted me from my goals on the mat and never hindered my training or ability to compete. Instead, she made the experience much better. That's quite a compliment for a young lady, and I truly appreciated the relationship we had while I was competing and still appreciate the relationship we have today. I remember ending my speech at the wrestling banquet my senior year of college by saying that I'll always be a wrestler first and foremost. That has changed a bit. I now think of myself first and foremost as a sinner seeking redemption and always trying to improve my relationship with Jesus Christ. I know I can do better and that I have a lot of work left to do, but I know my experiences wrestling at SDSU will continue to help me down that path. I'll forever be grateful for my time at SDSU and will always be proud to be a Jackrabbit. Thank you, and go Jacks!